I'm not intimidated by any buyers.
Cash is king, winner takes all.
You don't know what you're going to encounter.
Welcome to your daily crypto news. Today we're doing a special edition where we are looking at STORJ coin. We're going to look at what it is, who's behind it, what it's currently doing in the market, and why it could possibly be a good investment. But before we go any further, go ahead and hit that like button so we can storge up some likes on here. That may have literally been the worst joke you've ever made. Cringeworthy. I love it. So if you are in the STORJ community, make sure you like this video, because the more people that like this video, the more people get to see this video, and the more we can talk to people and spread the word of STORJ. Okay, so let's look at what STORJ is. So STORJ is spelled S-T-O-R-J, as you can see. In the English language, that isn't really a word. So you may see it, and I know when I first saw STORJ coin, I was real confused on what it could possibly be about, or what the purpose of it could be. But the cool thing is it's all right there in the name. You just don't see it. So it's kind of a play on the word storage. So it's STORJ with a J instead of the A-G-E. And that's exactly what STORJ coin does. It's basically a peer-to-peer network that stores things in the cloud. So STORJ is a decentralized file storage solution. It uses a few things. It uses file sharding and encryption to make it where when you have something on its network, that not one person or one node or computer owns all of your information. So I'm not exactly sure how Google's cloud works, but I can tell you, if I know Google like I know Google, then they're using that to store information on you. So Google has access to all of your information on their cloud. Now, if you remember Torrents were a way to share movie files, and maybe people still use them. I'm not sure. I know people use torrent browsers to go on the dark web and stuff like that. Personally, I've never been on the dark web. Just thinking about it really scares me.
There is nothing.
But what people would use these torrents to do is to watch movies. So if someone owned a copy of a movie illegally, it was pirated, then, company, or basically it was against the law. I don't know how many people got in trouble for it, but I know that you weren't allowed to own that movie. And the way that these websites got around it is that they would use file sharding, and they would split the movies into thousands or hundreds. I don't know how many pieces. They'd split it into a ton of different pieces, and they would send it out to all these different computers. And so when someone wanted to watch the movie, their computer would work with that torrent browser, and it would be able to recall all of the different pieces of the movie, and then would automatically put them in order so you could watch the movie and you didn't even know it was split up into different files. And so that was also a peer-to-peer network like STORJ is. So imagine if you have a file that's really important, that's got your personal information on it, and you want to store it on a cloud, but you don't want anyone else to have access to it. Maybe you got your social security number on it. Maybe you have personal banking information. What STORJ is going to do is it's going to allow you to be able to share your file to the cloud and not have anyone else have access to it. I think that is where our world is going. We're realizing that we have power as individuals. We have all the technology at our fingertips, and we don't want people to have access to all of our personal information. So shame on Google, shame on Facebook, shame on all of these companies for doing this for so long, but we're not going to take it anymore. And one of these coins that's going to be able to help us with this is STORJ. So the people in STORJ who upload files onto the cloud for storage are called tenants. And the people that relay the information, we talked about like with 0x, they're called relayers. Obviously with Bitcoin, they're called miners. But with STORJ, they're called farmers. So each one of these farmers has a piece of a file. And when it's time for the tenant to recall their file, the farmers send all their pieces of the files to complete one large file. That way no one has access to all of it. So a question that you may have is, why would a farmer want to keep and pass on that file? What would happen if that farmer deleted that file? Well, basically, STORJ just came up with a way to incentivize these farmers to pass the information back like they're supposed to. So they do that with the coins. That is how they do it, with monetary means of passing the coin to the farmers for sending the information. So if they were to delete a file, then they wouldn't get paid. So of course, who would want to do that? And they don't even know what the file is. Specifically, they don't know what kind of information is on it. There's no incentive for them to want to steal that piece of a file, because without all the other files, it's basically useless. So what STORJ Coin has done is they've created an audit system where once every hour, an audit is sent out to every one of their farmers to make sure they're sending in what they're supposed to be sending in. So one thing they're looking at doing in the future is creating like a hierarchy of trustful nodes on the system. So if you're a farmer and you are ranked very highly in returning the files like you should, and in an expedient manner, then you are going to get preference, which means that you would get more coins. So it's a good incentive program to keep everything on the cloud being shared properly. So one cool thing that has happened recently with STORJ is they are now on the Ethereum blockchain. They used to be off of the Bitcoin blockchain. So now they're using a proof of work system, and now instead of coins, they're actually called tokens. So let's take a look at coin market cap and STORJ. STORJ currently is at about 82 cents. The market cap is $109 million. Circulating supply, $133 million. And the total supply is about 425 million STORJ. And that's a number I like. I don't hate 425 million. I think that's a pretty good number. Obviously not as good as Bitcoin, but it's a lot better than a lot of the other ones out there. So STORJ Coin came on CoinMarketCap on July 1st of 2017. And as you can look at the chart, it has had a couple spikes. This spike went up to $2.22 or 58,1775 Satoshis. And then at its peak, it hit 20,491 Satoshis, and it was worth $3.04. So right now at 82 cents, and it could be a bargain right now. So let's look at the difference between STORJ and STORJ Labs, because it gets a little bit messy. So STORJ is an open source platform, kind of like Ethereum, where you can go on there and you can create stuff within their network. However, STORJ Labs has already put into use that network, and they charge people to host their files, which of course, just because STORJ is a new way to store files, which is going to, protect your information from companies like Google, that doesn't mean it's free, right? So STORJ Labs is the company. They don't necessarily own STORJ, but they make use of it. So it's one of those things where they're attached at the hip, but yet they're separate. So recently, STORJ Labs was taken over by the CEO, or the former CEO of Docker. If you don't know what Docker is, it's a company that basically they modernize traditional apps. So a lot of really large companies have worked with them. So some of the companies that have used Docker are Visa, PayPal, MetLife, ADP, and others. So you have to ask yourself the question of, with a new CEO that used to be the CEO of this large company that works with all these huge companies, what kind of connections is he going to bring with him to the STORJ platform? His name is Ben Golub, and he was also the co-founder of Docker. So he's been on the job right now for a little bit less than a month, and who knows what he's going to bring to this platform. So, we see it with cryptocurrencies that like rebrand. When you have an infusion of new ideas and new blood, then it seems to really help your coin. So maybe that had something to do with the recent pump that STORJ coin had. I'm not really sure. But one thing I do know is that in this world we're living in of cryptocurrency, and for me, being involved in cryptocurrency all the time, thinking about it all the time, like I just feel like everybody should know about it. But the fact is that they don't. A lot of people don't understand what cryptocurrency is. If I said EOS to them or Neo, if I said Neo to them, they would ask me, if I'm living in the Matrix. They just don't know what these coins are, and they don't know what they do. So when we're looking at going mainstream and adoption, we've got to find coins that are going to help with real world problems, that have real world uses. And when you have a CEO of a company become your new CEO who's involved with all these super large companies, he understands a lot of the problems that these larger companies are facing and hopefully how to solve them. So when I think about cloud storage, the first thing that comes to my mind is Google, because they're definitely the biggest company out there other than Apple and maybe Amazon. I'm not sure who's bigger right now, but they have all of your information. And I'm just getting sick and tired of these companies having my information. I feel like we're living in 1984, the book. So in that book, Big Brother is watching everywhere. I feel like there's really, in this world we're living in right now, there's no privacy. Nothing that you do. I'm sitting here recording on my laptop, on my MacBook, and I have to question in my mind, do government agencies have access to my webcam, to see me? Can they hack into my computer or log into my computer through a backdoor and watch me right now while I'm making this video? I think they can. And that is just leads me to question so many things about these companies that we're giving all of our information to. And Google is one of these companies. And, who knows? I hope the men in the black suits don't show up at my door for saying something bad about Google. But I don't want Google to have my information on their cloud, because they'll take advantage of it. They'll sell it. They will sell it to advertising companies that will in turn sell ads to companies that have access to all my information. And they know the kind of person I am. They know how I vote politically. They know the things that I buy. They know the websites that I visit. And frankly, I'm tired of it. And it's time that we have a revolution. So I love STORJ coin. I love what they're doing. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the price is going to go up. But I love what you're doing, STORJ coin. Keep it up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know you guys, from our views we've had on our videos, I know you guys really like our coin reviews. So we're going to try to do at least a couple of those a week going forward. We got another super cool video coming out, and probably by the end of the week, where we are starting a series where we're interviewing people from around the cryptocurrency space, specifically kind of around the social media. You could kind of call it, well, we're going to call it the faces of crypto, but it's really going to be, the personalities of crypto. So right now where we're at, we're not going to be able to get the big fish in here, but hopefully down the road, maybe we can interview John McAfee. I heard he's not a big fan of shitcoin. I'm just kidding. There's no way he's heard of it. So we got a lot of stuff in the works, and we're really excited about all of it, and we just appreciate all of our subscribers and all the people that are hitting that like button. If you haven't hit it yet, go ahead. All it takes is your one finger right here. You just go press down on your mouse pad right over the little thumbs up. I'm totally kidding. I know you know how to do it. I'm just asking, why have you not done it? Just kidding. We like to keep it fun on the channel. But if you got any questions, drop them down below. If you know any piece of information about STORJ that we missed, maybe you can farm it out to us. So this has been your daily crypto news with special edition on STORJ coin.